히트다 히트.
히트 시즌 2.
Okay, the final game, barring a tiebreaker. Down here, the bottom left, in red, ByuN, the teamless Terran. See his wrists are fatigued. Over here to the bottom left, in blue, it is Classic. The SKT Protoss. We have gone the full 9 yards.
That is true. I actually haven't used that phrase in like 10 years, the whole 9 yards. I was like, well, wait, no, it's 10 yards for another first down. Like then my woeful lack of watching any traditional sports gets revealed. I have actually no idea what happens after that point, but we are definitely going the distance here tonight.
But we are not going for speed, unlike last night where we were speedrunning the GSL.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, no speed here, as I don't think there are any speed upgrades for either one of these races. I guess Stim kind of counts.
Or Banshee speed upgrade.
Oh, that is true.
Or Prism speed upgrade. Is that it? I think that's it, yeah. But there are two, I'm sorry, you were wrong.
Damn it. I was doing so well. I had one job.
Yeah,
remember the speed upgrades. Nobody gets those upgrades anyway unless you're going for like fast disruptors. And we probably won't see that on this map, Wolf.
You know, there used to be in the alpha of StarCraft something called a Dark Obelisk, or it was called the Obelisk / Dark Pylon. And it was actually, you know how like every race has boosts to their economy? Like Zerg has the Queen so they can get more drones out.
Yep.
Terran has mules. Before Chrono Boost was invented by the designers, the Obelisk was something that increased probe movement speed. So you would actually put a pylon in your mineral line and make your probes mine faster, like about equivalent to the other races. It was removed, I assume, I mean there's no like, you can only just see this in old screenshots and old builds, but I assume it was removed because it didn't require any multitasking whatsoever, whereas the Queen injects and mules actually would require you to be on top of that. But that would be one other way there would be movement speed, but barring that, there is none besides those two.
You know what's the only thing that I really remember that used to be a thing were the Oracle used to like make these force fields on the mineral patches, so you actually just couldn't mine.
Oh yeah,
them.
Entomb.
Yeah, Entomb. Actually, the most broken spell. But all right, shading in here, we're gonna see.
Oh my God! You finished the CC.
Oh, and there's the Adept nerf. Now 3 shots workers.
Ah, there you go.
Did not get that that kill. So yeah, no finish there on that command center. Just gonna get delayed a little bit.
The Hellions are coming around here, by the way, and this is going to be a pretty, like, it's going to be a pretty stressful situation. He only has 1 adapt.
He's gonna overcook the birthday cakes, Wolf. He's gonna leave them in the oven too long.
Look at this.
Nice pro body blocking. That was actually pretty good.
Damage was still real on many of those probes. 3 kills for 2 Hellions. I think it's decently worth it. The Cyclone here, wondering what it's going to be paired with. It looks like it's going to be just defensive with a quick stim. ByuN has, in almost all of his games, committed only 2 drops. This time he just went Hellions into a fast stim. His late stim has really hurt him in some of these games. He's able to figure this out on his own and adjust his builds and play this on this map. Again, I want to point out he's teamless, which means he has no coach, nobody talking in his ear. I think 2 SKT coaches are here. I'm not even kidding. I think both Uv and the other assistant ST coach are here to help Classic.
Oh man, shading in here. Will there be enough adepts to turn that fight in his favor? No. Classic's got to get out of
Dodge.
Aha! You know where Dodge City is?
No.
It's actually, I think, what is it, 20 miles away from where Tasteless live?
Oh, okay.
I think so.
Wow.
I could be totally wrong. I'll hear about that later. But yeah, a good place to get out of in general, just because you do not want to die to things like those Cyclones, which I don't think they had too many of back in the Wild West.
Yeah, I feel like when I cast...
Actually, yes, they did. Damn it, why you gotta name it after a force of nature?
So, I feel like after I cast with a Texan such as yourself, I've
learned... Cyclone's so bad! No, I'm just kidding. When you lift him up, They actually don't do a whole lot there, and these Phoenix are actually going to do a lot. You know where Phoenix is, Wolf?
Yes.
All right.
Well, I cast with a Texas like yourself. I adopt this new dialogue on my casting, this new dialect, I should say. Well, this game is still like really even, and this Marine count is getting stronger and stronger, and he did get fast stim. So the question is, how is Classic going to defend this? Right now, he's doing some damage, but he committed a lot of resources to these Phoenixes, which won't be very useful versus a Marine push with stem. But ByuN has been timid throughout this entire series, both series, in fact, while ahead. And there's like a third base going up. If he just sits here and doesn't attack and has this fast stim and lets Classic get a third base, I don't think there is any recovering because he will continue to lose SCVs regardless of staying home.
Yeah, man, if this game were an FPS in Korea, it'd be called Doesn't Attack.
Hey.
There we go. Well, either way.
It took me a minute. I was like, oh, okay.
It's like only Korean-American kids will get that.
Yeah, only expats from America living in Korea who understand Korean esports deeper than is shown on Twitch will understand.
So deep, man. All right, so we do have a third base just now finishing for Classic, so he's going to be up a little bit in economy and have to defend this push coming in right as, actually, I guess plus
one's not going to finish. Neither is Combat Shields, but I don't think he can wait for it. These
no
adepts
probe,
don't have
patrol
plays.
back into it. Wow, he actually will save the probe.
But this gives him just enough advance warning. Very well done. He wants to bait these Phoenixes out, but Classic's not taking it. ByuN may be checkmated here because his base is late. He's going to be up against Glaives, and I know everyone's like, well, the supplies are like that, not that different. And like, he is going to have his own third, but it's late. He doesn't have a tech advantage. He's going to have +1 first, okay. But that's not as important as having Glaives and having this overwhelming big bank that you built from having this third base for so much longer.
Yeah, man. If this were a 2000s TV show, it'd be Big Bang Theory.
Oh, yeah. You are just on fire with these right now. You just keep going with them.
Much like ByuN. On fire since that last game. Okay, well, not enough to take down that Adept. This flying around here.
Okay, he's actually drawing him back. There's 2 drops coming from the south. He's really kept Classic's focus here. He can actually snipe this Robotics.
Will he be able to do it? He's trying to kill off the pylon instead. No, why? Doesn't unpower everything, but now he will be able to take out this Robotics. There's a Widow Mine burrowed. He will get it. Already very, very worth it on this drop there.
At least the Observer got out.
That's very, very true. He's going to lift that Widow Mine up as he does finish taking that out, but meanwhile, pressure in the front.
He needs a drop on this island. This is one of the reasons why this island exists as well. It allows drop play to happen with Terran. Because they can drop out and kill Phoenixes.
Well, he's actually going to lose a lot of his Phoenixes there. I think he lost 2 trying to take that drop out, but those units are stranded.
SOS, call it out, like back at home, Jenner SOS. Like, what, me? He will save these with a dropship later, most likely, but for the time being, they are there and they are stuck.
Yeah, man.
And this is a worker deficit here for ByuN.
Yeah, ByuN has been behind thanks to all that early harass for most of the game, but now really far behind. Thankfully, Wolf, mules exist.
Yeah.
So that is going to make up for that difference, of course.
There's 5 Tom Hanks castaways on that island. One's fatter than the others. But
I was going to make a Robinson Crusoe joke, and I was like, wait a second, literally 2 people read classical literature out there, so.
Swiss Family Robinson.
Oh my God. No one, kids of no decade will remember that one.
Only kids who watch that bad movie because their parents didn't have any other VHS tapes will understand.
Oh my God.
All right, I killed our audio.
We're trying to get our micro here. Little do you know we have caster micro going on behind the scenes. I'll tell you guys more about that a little bit later on. But just trying to make like National Velvet and jockey for position there in the middle of the map. I'm so glad Wolf couldn't hear me making these like terrible jokes, but
okay.
Here we go.
I actually got it. I'm like holding it. I'm just gonna hold it for the rest of the cast. I don't need to go to the bathroom. Like I'm holding it together. the power strip. That's
the power of casting, holding things together. Much like ByuN is going to have to hold this push off, or actually it's Classic holding off the push. There's just a bunch of bios sitting out there. ByuN with a nice defense back at home, able to take out those adepts, but still more workers being taken out, still behind about 15.
Yeah, I mean, like...
What do you mean, Wolf?
I worry about ByuN's future in this game because he has no way, no reasonable means yet of dealing with the Colossi, and unless this happened while I was plugging this thing back in and putting it back together, doesn't have a fusion core, so ballistics are like out of the question. He cannot fight this.
No
he cannot
way,
fight
man.
it, like not even close.
Those Colossus are actually doing a ton of damage. Terrible, terrible damage.
No.
No! Rally points, why?
He needs to make a fusion core and get advanced ballistics, or there is no future in this game for our Terran favorite. The whole
Certainly
crowd,
not.
was normally when stuff like this happens at the Spot TV arena, in the next arena, the crowd is screaming, but everyone in this entire studio wants ByuN to win so bad that when that happened, no one said anything. One guy was like, eh, and like everyone stared at him like with the evil glare of like, I cannot believe you're on Classic.
That's that feel when you sit on like the wrong side of the stadium.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, can't cheer for my bed. A Doomish drop coming in to the main phase. It's gonna snipe down at least one pylon, but can they get more? The answer, of course, is yes, because that is a ton of stim bio. And oh my gosh, these Widow Mines still alive there, back in the base. In the meantime,
he is actually starting to find some real damage here. Like, this is not dealt with in the main. They're clumped up here. Now he's going to have to get out. He's going to just trade because he knows he's not going to be able to probably keep these medevacs alive. Oh, I spoke too soon. He does get out with some of those. But he's starting to find some damage. He needs the ballistics, though. I really and truly believe this.
What is Phoenix doing? They're just chilling.
Yeah, well, they were definitely not on duty when the drop came in. That is for sure. More and more Colossi coming out here. I think he actually is having to use his warp prism to get the Colossi out. They're like spawning in the getting stuck. And he can't actually kill any of those buildings because if he kills the pylon, it's an Artosis pylon, everything is powered. If he kills the Twilight Council, I'm like, well, now he can't get +3. Bit of an awkward situation. So in this game, there's something else that we could theorize here, right? So he's getting the fusion or the fleet beacon for Tempests, but right now, ByuN, instead of getting ballistics, he's kind of getting the counter to something he didn't even get in these Vikings. So I'm liking what's happening here for ByuN tech-wise right now, just almost by pure coincidence.
You're liking the Viking?
Yes.
All right, same here.
Okay, sorry. I thought I actually...
Yeah, I thought they were on opposite sides. I'm like, wait a second. It's actually just... Oh, no, it's the same team. So, all right, well,
yeah, for a second I was like, oh, this drop is not being paid attention to. It's like, well, he just didn't unload these units for some reason.
Pulling it back. The scan, we'll see the Observer. And I don't know. This is okay. He does actually finish that. So yeah, moving up to Air Terran or Sky Terran. Now Air Terran.
It's fine. It's fine. Air Terran is also a thing you can say. Sky Terran is something like somebody said once a long time ago, like Cloud Destiny or something.
Everybody remembered it for some reason. All right. Well, here we go. Dropping with support coming in from the air. You need to take out these Colossus. One of them almost going down at such low HP. Will AP end up blinking on in, but this is such a good angle for these Vikings to hit from.
So indecisive with those Liberators, but he is looking for those angles you were talking about with his dead airspace. There's no air army here for Classic to actually deny this with, so he's trying to get pickoffs. Meanwhile, that secondary army to the top is going up to try to smash this base. And with only one adept here, I think the base will be smashed, although he doesn't commit. ByuN feels like really oftentimes shy to engage. He's got a lack of engage confidence and commit. He's got commitment issues, realistically, in these games. And I know it sounds funny because that's like a term we use in contemporary society to cite someone who doesn't want to get married. But
ByuN's like just like my last girlfriend.
Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, but this is like you need like there are opportunities he squandered because he is not willing to realize where he's at. And I'm not saying like everyone should always know this because this is a game with limited information. But when he has this push that was clearly designed to attack this base, and he knew the army was to the south defending his drop, that's the moment to try to snipe a Nexus. Because he fails to do so, this Nexus lives. And the economy lead and bank lead for Classic continues. He's at 1,800, 1,400 right now.
Oh my god, yeah, huge bank being built up here for the Protoss. ByuN's actually been like down a base the entire game, so we'll have maybe more minerals to mine, but what's he going to do with them? Big snipes and a great way of dealing with these drops coming in. Scans on top of the army just to make sure that he is unscouted, and here come the Ghost production in the late game here for ByuN.
He has a lot of Ghosts, and that's going to be great against a Templar. Like, it's like ByuN is ahead in both techs in a way. He's like, oh, you were going Tempest? Well, I had Vikings before that, and they're counting your Colossi. Okay, this may be the fight that decides the game. Storm is not ready. He also got some pretty decent EMPs up on these shields.
Linking forward, just getting a little bit of value from that. Oh my god, that was actually a nice snipe there on the Warp Prism, but retreating, ByuN backing off for now.
Can you press that G key and tell me if the +3 attack is done? Okay, it is. So 3-2 to 2-2 for just a few more seconds here. Another window of time that ByuN has that he probably doesn't realize at this moment in time, but one fight will win the game for either of these players. EMP going down here to force the Stalkers back, but a better concave and Storms for Classic.
These Tempest actually getting a lot of value off there towards the side. ByuN does not necessarily have to save that base, and he will, or Classic doesn't necessarily have to, but he will stop the mining at least for now, and so many cannons starting to be built. Not necessarily that huge a force here in the late game, but this drop might just be.
So, in this Supreme late game, this happens sometimes with Protoss matchups where they have so many bases. The unit that you want to have most is the Tempest. And we actually saw, oh, he misses the Phoenix, nicely done. Seems to be scouted in some way. Oh, there was vision in the middle of the map. Or it was there. I'm not sure. Cannons are going to defend this for the time being. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is Classic is trying to max out on Tempest. That's why he's killing his own units. Like he's killing Sentries and Stalkers to make more Tempests. But he needs to go back and defend this. Okay, sends a decent amount of units back here. The +3 attack really showing, and the armor is going to finish here in a second, making this even tougher. But with High Templar, with feedbacks and Storms, need to get out, and a Tempest nearly grabs that kill.
So close.
Am I crazy, or should ByuN just go on the high ground behind this base and snipe some probes and then leave? I guess
they are in range, but I feel like that's too much of an overextension. You risk getting flanked off there.
Yeah, because then he'd have to pick up in Medivacs, which is risky versus this comp.
I think you wanted to feed back, not Psystorm that single ghost, but either way, a lot of ghosts, very high energy as well, and let me see if he actually has personal cloaking for those. I believe he actually does, but another big drop into the base here.
These cannons getting replaced here, but you know what? For the first time in this game, ByuN has a bank. Like, he's actually been able to build a bank from all this pressure where he's being caused.
Oh, and here's that flank like I talked about.
You literally just said this. He is trapped now with no Medivacs.
Big Storms there, though, on the ghosts. Will these Colossi be good enough? They're going to move forward there. A little bit of flank on the flank, but so many Vikings.
You know what? This is actually so good for ByuN because he's doing damage in the main still.
Yep.
And he's killing these expensive units.
That drop in the main still going on.
And he actually has a bank now, so he can replace these units.
And these Vikings will kill every single Tempest Wolf.
This is a way better trade for ByuN. The Korean commenters just realized, but like, I've been looking at some map for a while. Classic is in trouble.
Yeah, this is not the Oracle you're looking for, man.
He's killing the expensive production as well.
Oh, and he's gonna take down the Robo. Yeah. No more Colossi for you.
There's that Artosis pile I was talking about. At least the Colossi could have gotten out now. Even the Dark Shrine gonna go down here.
Everything
Templar
in
Archives.
The base.
And he has the bank to rebuild an army. Classic is in trouble right now, Rapid.
Oh my god, and you can see Classic actually with a bigger current army, but that just doesn't matter because he cannot rebuild it. He's back in the Stone Age, man.
He's working on replacing his tech. It's taking him a while. He saved one starport.
What is this fight? I don't know. We're just going to see him.
That Phoenix has actually been so valuable in this game. If he cleans off the map, that continuous drop pressure will be there. But now, at least Classic has his tech in safer locations. Because that, I mean, it's not wrong to have your Templar Archive in your main, but it cost him dearly.
Oh no, but not again. Not like this, Wolf. We're going to see another drop consistently all the way in the main.
This one isn't going to be as important, though, because he can warp in Templar. He still has his tech there. He's going to lose his Cyber Core, which means no more Adepts, which is somewhat of a problem. But this is not as big of a deal. All these gateways unpowered means he needs to get units warped in. He needs to replace those or get pylons back up.
Planetary Fortress there defending. Got to target down those workers. The Planetary just staying alive for so long.
That Storm actually, I don't think actually connects with the SCVs. It does not, but it doesn't matter. But will he be caught here? ByuN again with a lack of confidence to engage.
Yes, so close. It's actually really difficult to call this. Base is being killed on both sides. ByuN is actually not mining.
His bank is gone. His bank is gone.
He's only mining from one base right now, and he does need to get back there. He did lose 20 workers there off of that push as well.
All right, there are a grand total of 6 Stalkers on the map to deal with these Liberators. He will have them in here in time. They're not in the correct zones. And Classic may have just...
Classic actually has a huge army advantage as well. 30 more supply, and it's about where that army supply is, where it has been invested in.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a bunch of really expensive Templar. He can reinforce a lot easier now that he replaces these pylons as well. Artosis would be proud, but there's a lot of ghosts in the army. This game goes on. ByuN will max out again here if Classic gives him enough time. It's like, okay, for a while there, Classic didn't have enough units that were expensive to deal with this, so now he's got time to get it up, which means, because he didn't have them, he maxed out, but he can't, he's trying to sort himself together, so ByuN has time to remax his own army. This has actually turned out to be possibly the best game in this tournament so far, as this matchup is just so fun to watch. One of these medevacs literally will die instantly to this Phoenix if he pays attention.
Oh, it targets the wrong one. He's actually going for it. Phoenixes are very, very fast, but not faster than a literally boosted medevac. So trying to position, posture, nice tag on that whole army from ByuN.
This is actually not all of his army together. These two Liberators will die. Adepts get caught here. They're going to go down as well, but okay. Right now, Classic is really stressed about this drop. He doesn't have vision of it anymore, so he's like, what is going on? Where is he? He's going to do a huge warp and just out of range of speed warping, so no quick warp there, but we'll have a huge 10 Stalker warping eventually to help deal with this. And, okay, he's looking for picks on these Vikings. Good EMPs here, but he cannot eat storms like this.
Huge storms there and a lot of Vikings going down.
Ghosts going down as well. He's starting to chip those away.
And now the bank is much further in favor of Classic. A big run by here. It's not Zerg, but it's going to be Deterrent stimming into the natural. This is where all of the important tech has been relocated to.
That Zealot warping's not quick. It's not a quick warping, so he actually will take a long time to get that up. And now he's got Zealots he doesn't really even want, so oopsie daisy there. The mobile army advantage goes to ByuN, and he's using it really, really well. When he draws those units back, guess what's not here? Anti-air for the Vikings. So the Vikings can come over here and do damage. He's pulling this Protoss composition apart.
Oh, and that single Phoenix actually did kill the low health dropship off to the back and got a fully loaded dropship off of that. So while that Phoenix actually just killed, I think, it only killed one dropship and then it died.
Okay, this is, I mean, I've said this like 4 times, like, this could be the fight that decides the game, but he just let this CC die, and now he needs to win a fight to win the game. If he doesn't win a fight, he's just too far behind and won't be able to recover. You can already see in the production that ByuN is just trying to be so mineral efficient and making basic only Marines and Vikings. This could be the fight. Here we go!
Workers moving forward and then moving backwards and then moving forwards again. The Vikings getting some nice hits out there onto the Tempest, but is there enough? Beautiful storms
Good
all
EMPs
over the Vikings, but yeah, the EMPs coming out. Is there enough Protoss for Classic to hang on?
This is actually such a close fight. There's no more AoE damage, but there's enough AoE, no more storms, enough AoE with the Colossi to win the fight.
The Colossi survive, Wolf. There's not enough bio here. He's done it. GG. Classic, at long last, has survived and outlasted the Terran Hope and ByuN, who will be done. ByuN will be done for tonight.
What an incredible performance, though, from the teamless Terran here. I have to say, he had Classic on the ropes in the second series. He won the first series. I know ByuN could be disappointed that he didn't advance. He could be disappointed in his own play tonight, but realistically, he shouldn't be. The fans shouldn't be disappointed in his play either. He showed us some incredible late game TVP. Decision making, is winning fights and coming back in that game for he was basically hanging on to that game while behind for 10 minutes straight without Classic being able to break him. We saw an awesome game on News Gettysburg, showed the potential of the map.
Yeah, and while ByuN may not have won the games were FYUN now that we're DYUN.
Whoa, you went all the way with that one, and I'm not even gonna criticize. This has been a long night of games as well. We're hitting
Certainly
11 p.m. So we've been casting this for nearly 5 hours now.
You guys got your money's worth here for StarCraft, which is literally infinite value.
Yeah. No matter if you multiply 0 by infinity, it doesn't get any higher. So, 2 advancing players, Classic and Solar. We went the distance. We had actually all 15 sets played tonight, which is always the dream for anyone who stays up late to watch StarCraft 2 with the highest level players in Korea. And there you have it. I mean, the 2 players that were expected to get out, but it was not easy for either of them. And
Classic getting revenge there in the end as well for his early 1-2 loss to ByuN. So nice to see him able to fight back. Very, very hard-fought night for all of our players. And here's the way that things stack out in the bracket.
So Classic will actually advance to play against stats in the round of 8, and as was mentioned before, Solar will face his teammate Deer. Zest and Dark are awaiting the winner and second place players of Group D. So Zest plays against first place and Dark plays against second place. So those are who are left here. Their opponent's not yet decided, but that's what is going on. That's what that Korean says there on the screen.
Yep, and that will do it for Group C.